Hey everyone, welcome back. We're going to talk about rotations once again today and do a little practicing. So really quickly, just to kind of go back a little bit, properties again of rotations. The first thing is they create congruent figures. So between your original figure or your pre-image and the new figure or the image, these are going to be congruent figures where the sides are the same length and the angle measures are also the same length. Because these two figures are congruent, this is called a rigid movement. Okay, so next, when it comes to rotations, we preserve orientation between the original figure and the new one. And last but not least, rotations involve turns, and it's a turn of a figure around a point, and that point in particular is going to be the origin for us. Some rules again for counterclockwise rotations. So when we rotate counterclockwise 90 degrees, you'll notice that our x and y values switch and we end up negating that y value. When we rotate counterclockwise 180 degrees, our x and y values stay put, they're just negated. And then last but not least, when we rotate 270 degrees counterclockwise, our x and y values switch and our original x value negates. All right, so just some great rules to take with you as we go through. You're more than welcome to also turn your paper like Mrs. Hayward was talking about yesterday. So whatever you feel most comfortable with, go ahead and do. All right, so let's take a look at question number 1. We're going to graph quadrilateral M, N, P, and Q. So let's go ahead and graph the original figure here. So I'm going to attempt to color code as best as I possibly can. Bear with me. Okay, so let's take a peek. So M is located at 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N is located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. P is located at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 1. And Q is located at 2, 1. All right, so I am not going to be using a ruler here, so I'm just going to connect my dots the very best I can. So bear with me on my figure here. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to graph the image or the new figure after it's rotated counterclockwise 270 degrees about the origin. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper that's sitting in front of me, and I am going to rotate it counterclockwise. So remember, counterclockwise means we're going to move to the left in 90-degree increments. So moving to the left, I'm going to turn my paper once, and now my paper is horizontal. I'm going to turn my paper 90 degrees again, and it is once again vertical, but upside down. And I'm going to turn it one more time, 90 degrees to the left. We're once again horizontal. And now I'm going to take a look at the coordinate plane, and I'm going to write down the coordinates for where Q, M, N, and P are now located. So these new coordinates are actually going to be Q prime, M prime, N prime, and P prime. So if I write these guys down, M prime, oh, you little stinker. There we go. Okay. M prime is located at 5, negative 2. N prime is located at 4, negative 6. Whoopsies, can't let my hand touch too much there. Okay. Got to keep that in mind as I'm writing. Can't let my hand touch the screen. All right, 4, negative 6. PQ, or PQ, P prime is 1, negative 6. And Q prime is 1, negative 2. Okay. All right, so let's graph these points. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 2. That's my Q prime. Or I'm sorry, my M prime. There we go. Try that again. Okay, 4, negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gives me my N prime. 1, negative 6 gives me my P prime. And 1, negative 2 gives me Q prime. All right, I would say we're looking pretty good, you guys. Now, could we have applied the rule here? Absolutely. If you would rather do, if you would rather memorize the rules versus just turning your paper, it is completely up to you. Hopefully we will end up in the exact same spot. But this is our original figure, MNPQ, rotated about the origin, counterclockwise, 270 degrees. All right, let's move on to number 2. Okay. So now we're going to look at triangle X, Y, Z. So mine is actually already drawn in. I apologize. I actually did this a little bit earlier. So here's my original triangle X, Y, Z, located at the points given to me. So I'm actually going to take this triangle and I am going to rotate it 180 degrees clockwise. Okay, so remember clockwise, we're moving to the right. So clockwise rotation about the origin. Now 180 degrees clockwise is actually the exact same as 180 degrees counterclockwise as well. So if I take my paper, once again, moving, I'm going to go in the clockwise direction as it told me to in 90-degree increments. I'm going to turn my paper 90 degrees to the right, and then I'm going to do that one more time. And now my paper is upside down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my, I graphed a point wrong. I went 3, 1, not 3, -1. Hang on. Let's fix this. Was anybody else yelling at me through the screen? All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, -1. There we go. Here's X. And let's adjust our lines as well. Okay. I ended up doing everything here. 3, -1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So there we go. Much better, guys. All right. So now that my paper, thankfully, is already in the direction I need it to be in, I can just write down the points x prime, y prime, and z prime. So x prime is located at -3, 1. Y prime located at -5, 4. Z prime located at -1, 5. Awesome. Let's graph these. Okay, so -3, 1, 2, 3, +1. Here's x prime. -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is y prime. And -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is z prime. And I'm going to connect these points again. I apologize for my lines not being super straight, but hopefully you guys get the idea. All right, so rotated 180 degrees clockwise. We did it. All right, let's go on to number 3. Now we're working with triangle RST. So let's go ahead and graph our original figure, or our pre-image, given the coordinate pairs. So let's see, -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's R. -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. This is S. And -2, +2. Here's T. Here we go. There we go. And there we go. All right. So we are going to rotate this image clockwise 180 degrees about the origin. Okay, so we can do this. So 180 degrees, similar to what we just did. And we are going clockwise once again. So that means we are going to start with our paper facing straight up. We're going to move it to the right 2 times, so 2 90-degree rotations. 1, 2. My paper is flipped upside down. I'm going to mark down the points where they are located now. So if I am looking at R prime here, or my new R prime is going to be located at 7, -8. S prime is located at 7, -2. And T prime is located at 2, negative 2. All right, let's draw these triangles in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's our prime. 7, negative 2. Here is S prime. And 2, negative 2. Here is T prime. All right, connecting the dots. Oh goodness, I hope your graphs look much better than mine. There we go. All right, and we did it. We rotated our original figure, or our pre-image, 180 degrees clockwise about the origin. All right, let's go to the next page. Now we're going to look at quadrilateral EFGH. So it has vertices at 1, negative 1, 3, negative 5, 7, negative 5, and 6, negative 1. Let's go ahead and graph that original figure because it does tell us to do so. So we're going to graph the figure and its rotated image after a counterclockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. All right, so starting with the original, 1, negative 1. Here's E. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's G. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 1. Here's H. All right. Yikes. Okay. Gotta work on my lines. All right. Okay. So now we're going to rotate our pre-image counterclockwise, 90 degrees about the origin. Okay, so starting with my paper, I'm going to move my paper to the left 90 degrees. So now it's horizontal. I'm going to go ahead and see where all these points are located, and those are going to actually end up being my vertices for E prime, F prime, G prime, and H prime. So E prime is located at 1, 1. F prime is at 5, 3. G prime at 5, 7. And H prime is at 1, 6. All right, so let's go ahead and graph these on our coordinate plane, and let's see if we did exactly what we were told to do. So 1, 1 is E prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 is F prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is G prime. And 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is H prime. All right. Okay. So this is the original quadrilateral E, F, G, and H rotated counterclockwise about the origin 90 degrees. Okay. So on the bottom, let's take a look. For each of these, you can either apply the rule or you can rotate your paper. I am actually going to apply the rule in each of these cases. So let's take a look. Triangle MNP has vertices 1, 4, 3, 1, and 5, 3. Find the vertices of M prime, N prime, and P prime after each rotation about the origin. Okay, so if we're going to use the same triangle each time, let's make sure we graph it each and every time. So M is at 1, 4, 3, 1 is N, and 5, 1, 2, 3 is P. Okay, I'm going to move this N out of the way here just so we can clearly see our label. Put it down here. Okay, so here is our pre-image, or our original figure. Okay, so we're going to rotate this 90 degrees clockwise. Now 90 degrees clockwise is actually the same as 270 degrees counterclockwise. So if I know the rule for 270 degrees counterclockwise, I can actually quickly find the points of M prime, N prime, and P prime. All right, so my rule, and I'll write it up here, for 270 degrees counterclockwise is y negative x. All right, so M is 1, 4, so I'm going to switch those and I'm going to make the 1 negative. So M prime is going to be 4, negative 1. N prime, applying that exact same rule, ends up being 1, negative 3. And P prime is going to be 3, negative 5. Okay, so let's graph and see if we're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1 is M prime. 1, negative 1, 2, 3 is N prime. And 3, negative 5 is P prime. Whoop, hang on. So this is a counterclockwise rotation of 270 degrees, which is the same as a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees. Okay, again, I hope your lines look a little bit better than mine do. All right, so taking a look at the next one, I'm going to take my original triangle once again. I'm going to graph it 1, 4, which is M, 3, 1, which is N, 5, 1, 2, 3, which is P. I just did the same exact thing with that N. Sorry. I swear I'll remember next time. Okay. Alright, so this is N. And we're going to connect. Now we're going to do a 180 degree clockwise rotation, which again is the same thing as a 180 degree counterclockwise rotation. So if I wanted to apply the rule here, the rule would be negative x, negative y, because 180 degrees clockwise is the same as 180 degrees counterclockwise. So M prime, if I follow that rule, should be located at negative 1, negative 4. N prime should be located at negative 3, negative 1. And P prime should be located at negative 5, negative 3. So let's take a look and see how we do. Again, you are absolutely welcome to rotate your paper. Please don't feel like you have to memorize the rules. It's helpful to memorize the rules, but if you feel more comfortable rotating your paper, you can do that too. Negative 5, negative 1, 2, 3 is P prime. Okay. All right, last but not least, let's rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So again, let's start with our original figure. So at 1, 4, we have M. At 3, 1, we have N. Nope, see, did it again. Shoot. And I said I wasn't going to. N, there we go. And then P is at 5, 3. Okay. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and let's graph the image after a 90 degree counterclockwise rotation. So I'm going to apply the rule here. So the rule is switch x and y, and we're going to negate the original x value, which is going to be we're going to negate the original y value, which is now our new x value. All right, so M prime is located at negative 4, 1 once we apply that rule, or if you rotate your paper. N prime is at negative 1, 3, and P prime is at negative 3, 5. All right, let's go to it. Negative 4, 1 is M prime. Negative 1, 3 is N prime. And negative 3, 5 is P prime. So this is a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation about the origin. All right, so that's our practice for today. Feel free to obviously email Mrs. Hayward or myself if you guys have any questions. We're going to be putting up some practice for you guys, more practice. So again, if you have any questions or if you just want to practice more, don't hesitate to let us know. Have a good day.